Hi everyone. Sorry for the late first travel vlog. I was trying to adapt to my whole travel situation. My next vlogs will probably be much closer together and won't be this. I'm guessing this one's going to be a little bit of a mixture of things, and it might not be the best one yet, but I'm going to get better at this as I go along. I'm already learning tricks. So first I'm going to talk to you today about Panama City, because that's where I spent my first 6 days. Um, so taking the plane was 15 hours because I had two transits, one in Boston and one in Atlanta. Atlanta is a huge airport, by the way. I had to take trains to get from one place to the next, and I never done that before, so that was quite the experience. Trains inside the airport, that is. Then I landed in Panama City, went to my hostel, and I'll speak about the hostel in a different vlog because I want to focus on how my experience in Panama City was in this vlog. I want to focus on that. So my first real Panama City experiences were not the best, but I didn't base my Panama City overall view on that because the rest of them were much better. First, when I got there, Uber never showed up. I had to take a cab. So that like wasted 1 hour of my night, and I got at the hostel during the countdown. So I was literally taking my bags out of the cab during the countdown. Then I was expecting a nice party in the hotel with lots of people having fun for the new year, and it was completely empty. So after I went outside and people lit firecrackers right next to me, and I almost got scared to death, I decided to go out for a walk and try to find a bar that was open. All I found was a small karaoke bar with about 5 people in it. Had a couple beers, spoke to another Canadian man, and then went back to the hostel, got lost, took a cab, then got to the hostel. That wasn't so bad. I'll explain what happened at the hostel in my next video. But then the next day, I decided I have to go eat something. I was starving. I'd slept a lot because I'd been so tired from all the traveling. And so I decided to go discover how Panama City is downtown. And so I took a cab and asked them to bring me to city center. And the cab driver kept saying, like, walking alone is not good, and to look where the cops are to make sure that I'm safe. And I was, okay, it's midday, I figured. So I got out of the cab, and I honestly was maybe in a part of town that where I shouldn't have been or something, but yeah, I did feel like maybe I shouldn't be walking there alone because people were kind of gawking at me. So at some point, I'm looking for some place to eat. There's no restaurant open because it's January 1st, and some man comes up to me and says, like, you shouldn't be walking alone. Acompañada. You want me to accompany you? I'm like, sure. I'm looking for a place to eat. Can you help me find a place to eat? And so he says no restaurants are open, but he guides me to the waterfront, beautiful waterfront, where people are selling food, like hot dogs and stuff. So I bought myself a hot dog, and to thank him, I bought him a hot dog. Then it started pouring rain. We went under this little rooftop and then waited for the rain to stop, which was about an hour. And then I go to walk down the waterfront because from there I knew where my hostel was. And he starts following me, so I'm like, it's okay, thank you, but you can go now. And he's like, no, 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 it's okay, it's okay. And he follows me, and he keeps speaking Spanish to me, but I don't know what he's saying. And I'm trying to understand, trying to learn at the same time. Whatever. He follows me around for like a good hour. Then I'm like, you can go, I know where I'm going. And he's like, no, no, it's okay. And he says this word that I'm hoping I'm not understanding properly. And I keep walking, and he keeps following me. And he says that word again, and I'm like, I hope he's not saying what I think he's saying. And then when I get to the street where my hostel was, I said, okay, no, I'm going my way. You go your way. Thank you very much. And then he asks me to masturbate him and does the gesture to go with it. This time it could not have been mistaken. So I'm like, no, 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 that's not going to happen. You go your way, and I go my way. And like, I'm like, no. So he's like, it's okay, it's okay. Solo, masturbate solo. And I'm like, oh my god, okay, you go do that solo. So that was my first impression of Panama City. A man following me around asking me to masturbate him. Luckily, that was the only weird, well, no, the only so bad experience I've had there. Everything else, I felt very safe there, to be honest. Um, and so I got back to my hostel, made some friends, and so here are some of the highlights of my week in Panama City. Um, First of all, Casco Viejo is amazing. We went there one night to go clubbing at Tantano Club, which is on a rooftop where you can see the old parts of the city, the old buildings, the lit up cathedral in the background, and then far in the background you can see all of this Panama City, which is huge and incredibly beautiful, by the way, all lit up. Just this huge panoramic view while you're having drinks and dancing on this rooftop club. There are no pictures or words that can describe how wonderful that feeling was. It was just an incredible feeling. It's just wow. Like I just couldn't stop saying wow. Wow. Where am I? Is this real? Pinch me, somebody. It was beautiful. I really enjoyed Casco Viejo during the daytime as well. Went there with some friends I made, and just this buildings and the the colors and the little roads and everyone walking around. It's just beautiful. Just beautiful. So rich in culture. And then we had the best meal I had so far was in Casco Viejo at the Casablanca on their terrace outside. It was patacon steak. So it was patacons, which are similar to bananas. They're cut and then squished and then fried. And over that, they put some steak, guacamole, lots of vegetables, cream cheese, sour cream, salsa. It was so good. It was by far the best meal I've had so far, and it only cost $10 for a pretty big meal. So that had to be noted. Another of the highlights, I did go to the canal. We were going to go eat at Miraflores, which is a restaurant that is actually inside the canal. But that was $42 for a buffet, for lunch buffet with nothing to drink and plus tax. So we decided to we snuck upstairs. We were not supposed to go there. And we went to the balconies to take pictures of the canal. And then that's when we went to Casablanca restaurant in Casco Viejo. Other highlights, obviously, I really love the people that I've been meeting. It's just so great to be meeting so many people from everywhere, and some people from home that you never think you have so many things in common. It's an incredible experience. Some of the things I didn't like as much were the weather. It was very cloudy. I did have some good days, but some of the days were most of the days were very cloudy, and sometimes it rained really hard out of nowhere. So that was not the best experience, but it still was amazing. The beach, I was expecting, because they call it Panama Beach, but it's actually just a waterfront where you have a dock with ships, and it's beautiful to walk along. Don't get me wrong, but I was actually expecting a beach, which is fine because I did, another one of my highlights, go to San Blas Islands, and that was absolutely incredible. It wasn't very expensive. It came to $145 in total, but we had 3 meals, a jeep ride there in the jungle, which was quite long and quite bumpy and quite scary at times because sometimes you're like right beside like this big cliff, and then in the jungle and really hot, and then you have a like motorboat ride to your island where you get a little hut where you share like a bedroom or a hut with people I was on the top bunk again. And from there, we had paid a little extra to go to visit three other islands and a starfish pool. That was amazing. The water, it was so warm, so blue. I couldn't believe my eyes. I was actually in heaven. So yeah, and we had a huge party on the beach, big fire. Everyone was having fun. Everyone was kind. And every meal we ate was delicious. So it wasn't that expensive for 3 meals. Some boat rides and some jeep rides, which were at least 2.5 hours long. So I feel that I got my money's worth for sure. So I do suggest if you go to Panama to go see San Blas Islands. It's a dream. It's a real dream. So that's pretty much what I did in Panama City. It was incredible. Um, then I went to Santa Catalina, and I will speak about Santa Catalina in my next in another video. But I'm gonna be better at this. Give me some time to adapt and adjust to how I'm gonna film these in the future. I hope I get to do them on site instead of doing a recap at the end every time. But yeah, I'm still learning, and it was a very overwhelming week of adaptation. But overall, I'm doing really well. I'm really happy, and please follow me. I hope I get some comments and some feedbacks from you guys. Bye.